Hey everyone, how's it going? Let me know if you can see me before I start here. I see we've got 17 of you in here and we're looking to get hopefully all 63 registered, but let me know if you can see me before we get started here. And also let me know if you can hear me nice and clearly. Cool, Courtney, I can see and hear you. Amazing, amazing. How's everyone doing on this fine Thursday, or if you're Ruben, early Friday morning? Cool. I'm doing awesome. I'm doing great. Good to see you guys. Welcome to our studio session. This is technically the first studio session since the new wave of students have joined the course. So welcome to the first studio session for you guys. For all of my previous students that joined up last August, we'll have done a number of studio sessions and live streams. Now, from a technical standpoint, you know, if I'm looking blurry or if I sound funny, refresh. It's just a live stream, so you know it depends on your internet connection and how it's downloading the live stream. So it might be a little bit blurry for some of you. Refresh, maybe try a better browser or something like that. You can also look on your phone. Crowdcast works well on mobile devices. So go ahead and do those things. If you're ever having any technical issues, refreshing, you'll be able to still experience the live stream. Cool, cool. All right, so here's how the studio sessions work. They're pretty casual. It's basically just, I'm talking to you guys. We have questions here queued up in the questions and topics section. So I have some content to talk about right out the gate. It is basically a nice little casual get-together, a meetup, if you will, where we just kind of chat. I let you know about where we're at in the course and answer your questions. It's nothing too formal. There's no sales pitches, none of that. It's just to add value to your experience in the Freelancing Freedom course. Because we're structured in a weekly drip schedule, sometimes you're a little bit further down the line, than other freelancers in the course. So it's nice for you to have these interactions with me and with the rest of the group because it's a bit more of a customized experience. So you get to talk about things further down in the course, ask specific questions about the course, about your experience in your freelance business, and I can help you out right here on the spot live. So that's kind of a cool thing, and there's a ton of value in these studio sessions. And it's also an opportunity for people who are still waiting for their strategy call with me. A number of you have already booked your strategy calls with me, and we've had some great conversations, which is awesome. But this is another way of all of us getting together in a group setting, and I could basically, it's like a big ass strategy call. Cool. So we've got about 20 of you guys here. Loving it. So here's what's going to happen. I see a number of questions here, and a big theme has been SEO. And SEO in terms of offering SEO to your freelance clients. I see Terry here. Let me see. I don't know if Terry's in the crowd. Is Terry in the crowd right now? Terry, let me make yourself seen if you are here. Otherwise, I'm still going to answer the question and you can watch the replay. So Terry, let's just start off here with a question. Terry asks, could you give us a quick 101 on organic SEO, search engine optimization? Clients don't just want pretty websites. They want sites that get them found and converted. I want to be able to tell clients in a language that they will understand what I can do to make their sites deliver results. And there's a number of questions here on SEO. And so it sounds like quite a few of you want to know a little bit more about the whole SEO thing in regards to offering it to your clients. What do you offer? What do you say? What do you do? So I put together a really small, I called it the quick and dirty. Here, I'll just share my screen so you can see. All right, here we go. Hold up. Quick and dirty SEO. Where is it, Brad? I got a little presentation here called the Quick and Dirty SEO. Here it goes. I'm going to share that. Let me know if you can see this on the screen. Quick and Dirty SEO. And I'll make that full screen so it's a bit easier to see. Cool. Hey, Terry, here holding baby Jack. Awesome. I know it's probably pretty late for you too. So I want to be able to answer this question for you, Terry. So quick and dirty SEO, this is going to answer a number of your SEO questions. But basically I'm calling this quick and dirty SEO for your freelancing clients. But first I want to get something out of the way. SEO, called search engine optimization, is a lot of work. It takes a lot of time to see measurable results, if any at all. It does not provide instant gratification for the client. Clients rarely understand the depth involved in SEO, and it is your job to educate your client on that. It is not something that you can just add quickly to a line item of your invoice. You cannot just say SEO and charge $1,000 or whatever. And some freelancers only do SEO. So a friend of mine actually reached out a little while ago. I was curious what his prices were for SEO. I was considering hiring him, subcontracting him out to do some SEO for a project of mine, because a client of mine said, I want to be #1 in Google. And they didn't even know what they wanted to be #1 in Google for. They just thought, I want to be #1 in Google. Of course, you've probably heard that before, right? So I reached out to this colleague of mine and said, hey, what's your price? What's your deal? How does it work? And he said, I need 8,000 minimum to start. That's a very, very basic SEO campaign, and 6 months. So basically, you know, $1,000 something a month to, you know, $1,300 or whatever it is, minimum, to see some basic measurable SEO results. So that's a lot of money. And you can see this guy only does SEO. He charges a pretty penny, and he needs time for you to see basic measurable results. So that kind of gives you an idea that you can't just quickly add a little line of SEO to your invoices. So I wanted to get that out of the way. I don't do SEO for these reasons. So I know SEO, I can do SEO. I've offered parts of it, and have even done some SEO campaigns for clients and even myself, but it's a pain in the ass. What I do is I provide results for my clients in different ways. You know, for me, I offer list building, email marketing, because it's tangible and it provides measurable results in a little bit quicker of a manner. It's easy to see that your list is growing. It's easier to see that I'm converting traffic, your current traffic, into leads. So here's something that I tell my clients. I'll get a lot of clients saying, oh, I want to be #1 in Google. I want to have more traffic. And then I'll say, okay, that's great. That's wonderful that you want more traffic. You know, what's your current traffic? You know, I'll find that out using Google Analytics if they even have that set up. And we'll say, how much of your current traffic actually converts? And often they'll say, what does that even mean? And by converting, I mean converts into a call, a lead, an email address. And they'll say, well, I don't know, like I get calls sometimes. I don't know if they come from the website. I don't collect email addresses. I don't have an email list. That is a gaping hole. And that's where I step in. Because SEO, all you're doing is just adding tons of more traffic. And that's only if you can do it well. And it takes a lot of time and money and effort to get more traffic. But if you're not converting and capturing that traffic, it's pointless. So here's an idea. If your website only gets 500 visits per, let's say, week, maybe even per month. Let's say your website gets 500 visits per month. That's not really a lot. But if you're converting 0% of that traffic, then scaling up your traffic to 5,000 visitors a month, and you're converting 0%, you're still getting 0 leads. You have no lead building and lead kind of capturing strategy. Whereas if you have 500 visitors per month and you are converting, you know, let's say 10 leads. So what's 500? Let's say you're converting 2%. So that's 10 leads. Now, that's a lot more than 0. So then now scaling up your traffic to 5,000, which is going to be a lot of work, then now you're going to convert 100 leads. So you can see that the core that you need to make sure you have is building a strategy that captures leads. And that's through email marketing, list building. We've done it in the 5-day challenge for our own portfolio sites and everything like that, capturing our own leads. That's what I like to do, because scaling up traffic with no conversion strategy is pointless. So I like to focus on that because it's easier to convert current traffic than it is to get more traffic and then try and convert. Does that make sense? Does that make sense before we kind of get started in some of these little points? I want to make sure that that's a bit clear. Cool. Okay, perfect. So that's what you need to know first. And that's what you can educate your client on. That's how I actually sell my clients on my own services and away from SEO. They'll say, you know, I want SEO, I want to be number one in Google. And I'm like, all right, well, if you're not converting traffic, then more traffic is pointless. What we want to do is convert your current traffic. And if we can start converting more traffic and get you 2% conversion rate on your current traffic, then let's then talk about how we can scale up your traffic. But let's first get your current traffic to be useful to you. That's what I do. Okay, so with that being said, what can you do in a really quick and dirty way? And I'm literally talking quick and dirty here, people, to lay the foundation for good SEO in your client's website. Regardless if you're offering SEO campaigns or not, which I don't, I still make sure that my sites, my clients' websites, cover all of the basics. And the basics are pretty big, and we'll get into that. So quick and dirty, right now in 2017, SEO is always changing. It's an ever-changing beast that nobody ever understands, and people are always trying to figure it out. But what we know so far is content is, you've heard this stupid phrase, content is king, because it's kind of true. Content is important. You need to have relevant content that explains what you're doing. So many of you have found me through my content. So you found me from a freelancing blog article, a YouTube video, a Udemy course. You know, this is content. You know, my content's a little bit different, but you know, I have blog articles. You know, if you Google start freelancing from scratch, I'm on the page. I'm on page 1. And that's not because I did a crazy SEO strategy, it's just because I wrote a good article that people like. It's being shared, it's being read, it has relevant keywords for starting freelancing from scratch because people want to know how to do that. Okay, so keyword research. You need to know the keywords that you're writing for, your primary keyword. You need to be able to do some keyword research, and there are tools for that. You need to write relevant content. So content, you know, if you're a law office, then content like, you know, how do you, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. I'm just pulling this stuff in my butt right now. How do you, you know, how do you protect yourself when buying a home or home insurance? An article about home insurance for buying your first home or something like that. I'm literally just coming up with this out of nowhere here. Jake, yes, this PDF, you can download this. I'll provide a link here shortly, so everyone can have access to it. I'll probably even put it in the course so that you can check it out afterwards. So don't worry about that. H1 headings. So all of your headings, all of the titles for your posts, your content, they need to contain your primary keyword. So your primary keyword is going to be whatever it is that you're writing for. So you do your keyword research, you find out how competitive that keyword is, how many people are writing for that keyword. Is it a highly searched keyword? Is it something that there are already a ton of people writing for, and so it's going to be hard to compete for? You got to find a keyword that's going to work for your specific niche so that you can write about the content about that specific keyword. So that needs to be in your heading, that needs to be in your body content and contain your primary and secondary keywords. And long form content, so bigger, more elaborative and explaining, bigger, more powerful content is better than just short little bursts of content. That's just something that has been proven over time. So if you have a long how-to article about how to protect yourself when you're, you know, setting up your mortgage and getting your insurance and yada, yada, yada for, you know, whatever it is, if that's your niche, if that's your client's niche, it's better to have a nice illustrative, descriptive how-to article than just like a quick little article that links off to some other article or something like that. So keep that in mind as well. Quality is better than quantity. So write less great posts versus many subpar posts. So you can have 100 really shitty posts, and that is not going to really help your case. Whereas if you have 1 or 2 pillar posts, as they can be called, about specific content in your client's niche, that is good. So like I said, this is quick and dirty. I'm not going to go really, really deep into all these little points because there's so much. Each of these separate points, you can spend hours and hours learning about. So read this article here, copyblogger.com/copywriting-101. Go there and read that. How do you start copywriting for SEO? Total basic overview. It goes pretty deep into writing content for SEO and keeping that in mind. Now, in terms of your clients, how does this work? How does this make sense? For your own clients? Well, that means they need to write content. So if they're not going to write content, do you want to write the content? Well, if you do, you need to charge for it. And you can't just write one article and just blast it out when you're done launching the site, because that's not going to help with SEO. That needs to be written regularly. An article a month, an article a week, an article every 2 weeks, an article every 2 months. It needs to be consistent content. It needs to be researched. It needs to be written. I need to keep SEO in mind when writing and sharing that content. So this provides an opportunity for, I know another question here is retainer options. So if you're a copywriter, I know there are some copywriters in our student group here. There's your opportunity. You can provide content on a monthly or a weekly basis and charge for it. And you can charge value-based prices for that, because if it's going to get traffic in the door and you can convert that traffic by writing authority based content, then that's an opportunity for a retainer right there. Now I see in the comments here, Cameron says, if you use WordPress, Yoast SEO plugin is a great tool. Definitely is. I use that as well. It has basically a checklist built in. It examines and analyzes your site so that you can make sure that you're covering all the basics in terms of keywords and writing your content, keyword density, all of these, buzzwords, it has everything built in. So it's a great tool to be able to just build in so that you can, in the very basic, cover these things. Now, the next thing, quick and dirty, link building. What is link building? When other websites share links to your website and your content. Google really likes this, and it proves your content is relevant and worthy. Guest posting, interviews, podcasts, YouTube videos, infographics being shared on Pinterest and Instagram, all being shared on all these different websites, blogs, social media, and so forth. This is how you can, this would be considered link building. You can get influencers in your niche to share your content. And now that's not necessarily easy, but how do you do this? There's a really great article on this. That link right there, it's kind of a long link. So take a moment to kind of write that down. I'll also be sharing this PDF so you can check it out after. SearchEngineJournal.com, every link building tactic you need to know 2016. I know it's technically 2016, but it covers a lot of really good stuff about link building. And you can use this tool, buzzsumo.com, which is a great site for analyzing what content performs best for any topic or competitors, what their key catchphrase is there at the top, their key phrase. Basically, you enter a topic or a domain. So if you're saying like law, maybe law is your niche and you're wanting to learn about like marketing for law offices or whatever it is that you're trying to learn about and to see who writes about this stuff. You can see the top posts across the web, different Facebook engagements, shares, how popular it is, how many backlinks it has, and then you can use that to try and get, share your content on their site, guest posts. There's so much about this. So that's why I want you to read these articles, and it would take way, way, way too long for me to go really, really deep into link building strategies. Now, again, in terms of your own freelancing clients, how does this make sense? How do you offer this? Well, again, it's very, it's in depth. This is not something that you can just quickly say, hey clients, hey Jane, yeah, we can totally do some SEO for you. We'll just, it'll be $1,000 and, we'll just do some shit. It doesn't work that way. Link building is massive. It requires a lot of time, effort. People only do, you can hire freelancers who are just link builders as well. So that's how niche that people can get. So keep in mind the size of this. And I'm saying this because I'm kind of wanting to try and help you understand how big of a deal this really is and how expensive it is, how time and resource heavy it is. I kind of want to scare you away from it, but if it doesn't really scare you and it's a challenge, then great, that's an opportunity for you. There's big money in SEO, but you have to be able to provide big results as well. So that's link building. Now this one's an easy one. This one's so easy. Every single one of us can do today. And probably one of the easiest ones for us to incorporate. Mobile optimization. responsive, mobile optimized, mobile first user experiences. And so not just like some crappy, like half mobile website. You'll actually get dinged for that. If your website isn't really that responsive, don't have it be responsive until it's fully responsive. So this is something that you can easily do using WordPress themes that you purchase. If you don't know how to code yet, that's okay. If you're a coder, if you're a developer, Bootstrap. Many of you have found me through my Bootstrap tutorials and courses. I have courses on creating Bootstrap WordPress websites and responsive WordPress websites, SaaS, all these things for creating mobile optimized, mobile friendly, mobile first user experiences. Google, Gina, your question, how does Google figure out whether or not your website is responsive? Well, actually, you can try this right now. If you Google, I don't know, honestly, I'm trying to just think. If you Google a keyword of some sort, it depends on the browser you're using sometimes. I know that if you Hey, can you guys see me and hear me? I just want to make sure we're back here. Let me know if we're back. Good. Sorry about that, everyone. Looks like we had a weird, it was totally my fault. I was on the wrong Wi-Fi network, and it kind of screwed it up a little bit. Good thing we're not on like a huge sales webinar. Cool. Okay, so you can hear and not see me. Looks like only audio. You can hear no. Okay, how about this? I'm going to share an application window. Can you see my screen? Cool. Okay, so that's all that really matters for now, that you can hear me and see my screen. Okay, cool. So basically, Gina, just to really get back to that quickly, just to answer your question, Google knows if your site's mobile optimized. So make sure it's mobile optimized. Mobile indexing is a high priority for Google, so they will check. And if you have a mobile optimized website, then you will get bonus points. Whereas if it's not, you won't be as prioritized in the search index. Make your client websites fully responsive and quick to load. So they need to be nice and quick to load as well on mobile devices. So if you're using large images and things like that, it's going to slow the phone down. It's going to know that the mobile experience is poor, and you will get dinged for that as well. So responsive WordPress themes, Bootstrap, all of my courses and tutorials, there's tons of ways to be able to mobile optimize your website. So that's another quick and dirty point. So the three quick things was content, link building, and mobile optimization. Those are kind of the big three right now in 2017. Now the quick and dirty must-haves, this is something that we're getting into a bit more of the details. Site speed, page size, load time, number of requests. Smaller and faster is better. So I see, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but he shared the mobile test and the page speed test. With Google, you can actually test your page speed and everything like that to see, what parts of your site are taking too long to load, this, that, and the other thing. So those are great tests to perform. Hafijur, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. That's my best try. Nice. Awesome. Title tags, meta descriptions, do they include your primary keyword? Keep that in mind. Image optimization. So the size of the image, relevant file names. So not just like DSC_1304.jpg. Something like Brad-coding is a better file name. Alt descriptions. So if your image isn't working, or for people who cannot see, you need to have alt descriptions on every single one of your images. Perform an SEO audit, heading tags, body content, code validation. So if you have a lot of errors in your website, that's also something that contributes to SEO or poor SEO. Can people easily share your content on social media? Do you have a widget that people can easily share on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, email, so on and so forth? Do you have links to your social media channels? So on your website, on your blog, on your client's website, do they have links very clearly in the footer or the header or the sidebar to their social media profiles? Is the site mobile optimized? Do you have backlinks from other relevant websites? These are questions to keep in mind. In the very, very least, here's something to keep in mind. Make sure your client's website is covering the basics. This is what I do regardless. I'll do this even if I'm not offering SEO. I will always cover the basics. And there's a really cool tool here called clickminded.com/SEO check site analysis. If anyone wants to type that link out in the comments there so you can easily click it, that would be mucho appreciated. And it's really great. It's a great tool. I'll show you here a screenshot of one of my articles on my website. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. Thanks for sharing that, Travis. Educate your client on the amount of time, effort, and cost it takes to see measurable and tangible results. It's long and slow and boring, and it drags on, and oftentimes it will fail. So are you confident in offering a strong SEO campaign? If not, just don't do it. Set them up with the basics, provide them with the results in other ways. So list building, converting their current traffic into leads, into calls, into email lists, into a phone call, into a contact form submission, email marketing, automation, converting those current traffic into leads, and so on. That's what I do, and it's easy to be able to see measurable results in a shorter time frame. Whereas SEO, it's a big beast. It requires an insane amount of work and skill, and it's always changing, and the client isn't often going to want to pay for it. So what you can do, I'm not just saying abandon SEO because it's not really an option, and if your clients are asking for it, well, you need to know what to say. What you can do is you can partner up with an SEO expert. I know that there are people in the course who are actual SEO peeps. They do SEO as their freelancing business. You can collaborate with them on a project, or what you can do is subcontract an SEO expert, pay them to do the SEO portion under your umbrella, and you manage the project. So the project that I'm working on this year, it's sort of the biggest one I've ever worked on. I'm doing the custom e-commerce. We're building the entire e-commerce site with WordPress, and it's a big, big, big campaign, but it's only a part of the entire project. I'm actually being subcontracted by an SEO freelancer. He's got an agency, an SEO agency, and he is hiring me to do my portion, which is a huge part of the project, but he's actually doing SEO. And that's 50% or more of the budget that I don't even see. So he's probably charging, X amount of dollars, and then he's paying me my fee, and then the client is paying him for everything else. So let's just say, for example, a project, your part of the project is $5,000, and it's going to cost $5,000 to do SEO for the next 6 months. Then you basically would charge the clients, you could charge them 10, 11, 12, you could charge them $2,000 a month for a few months or whatever it is, and then pay your subcontractor, and your client gets a solid SEO campaign, and then you get your fee as well, and you still get to serve your clients. So there's lots of different things that you can do in that way. So that's kind of the quick and dirty SEO for your freelancing clients. I want to show you here. I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to share a different part of my screen. So you guys still can't see me? You can't see my face? Still no video. That's okay. I'll still share my screen anyway. Okay, so I'm going to show you I'm going to show you one more thing here. So I did the SEO, where is it? Right here. Oh, that's not the right one. Whoops. I'm going to show one more thing here. Okay. Now you can see my face. That's weird. Okay, here. So I did the click-minded SEO check site analysis on one of my blog articles, and it gives me a huge audit of what I need to do to improve my site. So here I can see, 26 issues found, 32 good signals, and 63% page grade. So I have a lot of improvement to make. The keyword I'm looking for is start freelancing. This is one of my articles that rank really well for start freelancing from scratch or whatever the keyword is. You can see here right from the top, the page loads fast, the size of the page is okay, and the file request is acceptable. So you can see they are satisfied with this portion of my page. The URL is SEO friendly, but my exact keyword, start freelancing, is not found in the URL. So I might want to fix that to have my to have that URL be something like start freelancing from scratch or something like that. There's no underscores. The page is close to the top level domain rather than having lots of subdomains or kind of, bradhussey.ca/blog/2017/March/start freelancing from scratch or something like that. Further down here, we can see a lot of room for improvement. The title tag does not include the keyword, so I could improve that. It should begin with the keyword, so start freelancing from scratch perhaps, and the title tag should be shorter than what it currently is. Description tag was not found, so I have a lot of room for improvement there. Image analysis, all the images have alt tags, so that's a bonus, but none of my alt tags have the keywords, and the keywords aren't in any of the file names. That's good to know. You can see an analysis of the top 5 words used. So you can see start, Brad, email, freelance. This is analysis of the keywords used, so I can actually have some improvement. The H1, 2, and 3 tags should be on the page and should include my keywords. Down here, you can see things like bold, italicized, underline the exact keyword, and your keyword should be within the first 100 words, and it is not, so I can improve my current status of this page from an SEO standpoint from doing these things. Code analysis, there's some inline CSS. It's a little bit messy in terms of the text to HTML ratio. There's a bunch of different things here. It's not validated with W3C, lazy Brad, you should fix some of these things. It's doing a social analysis, so I don't have a tweet button, I don't have a Google Plus button, but it has a link to a blog and a Facebook share, so I can improve that. I don't have an Apple icon, so if I were to save this on my Apple device, there's no Apple icon. I can improve that from a mobile analysis. Page link analysis, so I don't have any other authority websites linking to the specific article. I could do a little bit of work there to get that. And then you can see a number of different pluses and minuses. Domain analysis, so the domain does not contain the keyword. So if my domain was like, freelancingtips.com or something like that, then sure. But my domain does not include that, so I can't really change that because bradhussey.ca is my domain. And then it gives you tasks to complete, which is nice. So you can see you need to improve all of these things, and you can actually, download them and check them off if you want. Here are all the things that you need to do. So what you can do, I'm going to go back here to just here in my audio. What you can do is do that SEO checklist by ClickMinded and provide that for your client. You can say, okay, here are the things that I'm going to do. That is my basic SEO work that I'm going to do for your site. Now, and then you give them a caveat and you say, it's not going to get you a #1 of Google. It's not going to do this, but what it's going to do is it's going to prevent you from being, downgraded in the search results. It's going to, in some cases improve your search results, depending on if we're writing content. It gives you an opportunity to say, we need to have a regular SEO campaign. So a lot that goes on here, but that's what I do. Now, I'll share one more thing. There's a link here. I'm going to copy this link and share it with you. This is all in terms of SEO. By ClickMinded as well. It is basically they call it the Insanely Powerful SEO 27 checklist. And it's a massive checklist that you can. All right, and we're back. Can you guys hear me again? Awesome. That's why I call these casual. Oh, nice. You can see me. Nice. Amazing. That's why I call these studio sessions casual, because sometimes, pardon my false say, but shit happens. It's probably because I got my parents in town and they're on their iPads and their phones, and the kids are looking at the phones, and everyone's on the network, and it's messing with our connection here. So sorry about that. Anyway, so we're back. So that was, the click-minded, I shared that they're click-minded SEO checklist, something that you can use in your own campaigns and, when you start your own projects. I would keep that on file, create a PDF, create a Trello checklist with all those items, and refer to that when you're working on your SEO campaigns. And now one more thing, because I know everything was about SEO here. I wanted to share, let me see. Actually, no, I shared that with you there. So you got, we did the PDF, the quick and dirty SEO. I gave you those articles, those resources, BuzzSumo, the click-minded SEO checker and analysis. I would do that. And the SEO 27 checklist. Things like, have you installed Google Analytics? Have you installed Google Search Console? What about Yoast SEO? Have you installed that? Have you done 301 redirects from broken pages if you updated the site? Have you done some keyword research? Have you incorporated your primary keyword? Have you have H1, 2, and 3 tags? There's a ton there. There's a massive, massive checklist. So I would check that out when starting up your sites. Okay, so here, let me see. That was my big answer to Terry's SEO question. Terry says, this is a good client wants top Google places, and I wanted to tell them how this isn't easy as they think. You know what? Hey, if your client wants like top-notch SEO, educate them. Because sure, they can have that, but they need to have the time and the money. So if you're willing to step it up and do some SEO, do some research, and do the work and get them some results, then they need to pay for it. It's not something you can do in a one-off $1,000 or 1,000 pound line item. It needs to be a massive campaign, and it needs to take time. And so I could even give them a copy of that SEO report when they get their site. Yes, exactly. So this is what you say. You say, you know what? Here's what we can do. You can honestly say, I'm not an SEO. I don't provide SEO because it's a lot of work, and it's not a service that I provide. But I can do this for you. Here's what is missing on the site. Here's what we need to do. So when and this is actually in the course, for those of you who are new, you don't quite have this module yet, but what I do when you walk into a meeting, some of you have actually used this technique, you provide them a complete website analysis report in order to sell them. So I will have a PDF report of their site, what's working on their site. I'll have this SEO checklist and say, here's some things that we can improve. Here's some things we're missing. We don't have any conversion strategies. I don't see, social sharing strategies. Here are some things that are working well. You got great page load speed, but you're kind of missing in this part. Here are the things that I can do for you. And, here are the packages that I offer. So the SEO checklist and doing this click-minded SEO analysis is a great way for you to show your client, here's the basics of what we need to do. Now, if you want to see results, we need to do this amount of work. And what I like to do is just subcontract out an SEO expert, or not even offer it and offer something alternatively, like converting current traffic into leads. So I hope that was a sufficient SEO answer for all of you out there who are kind of wondering a little bit more about SEO in terms of offering to your freelance clients. I know that there's a lot more to it, and I'm willing to explore SEO more in depth, in the future. But that's kind of the approach that I take. And rather than saying, yeah, let's really, really get into SEO because it's a lot of work, and that's something that I want everybody to know. And so it looks like that was a sufficient answer. Great. Okay, Travis asked, Are we back? Am I just killing you guys here or what? I keep leaving you in suspense. Can you guys see in here? Awesome. Cool. Again, my apologies. I'm done apologizing. Whatever. Network connections. We're all good here. We're all good. Okay. Okay. Let me get back to it. Travis, let's do this. How many revisions and what client-friendly milestones could you break the project into? I love this question. I love this question. It depends on you and your budget and what it is that you are, you're offering. So, you know, it's preference. For me, if I'm doing design work, I don't like going back and forth with tons of revisions. I'll say we'll provide you the solution. We're confident with our expertise that it's going to be good. So if the first one is off the mark, that's okay, because you get one more revision and that should be sufficient. And now I don't just leave the client up to their own devices to say, you know, to determine, you know, what it is that they need to improve. I'll give them advice for giving good feedback. I'll say, here's the changes we've made. Here's why we've made these decisions. Here's the research. Here's why this works based on my experience, based on my clients and my past experience. This is why this works. Here's how I solved the problem. Here's how I served what it is that you're asking me for. And here's the things that I'm doing a little bit differently. Here's why. Now, if you would like another revision, I want you to be able to tell me what it is you want changed, why it is you want that changed, how do you think that gets us closer to our goal? And instead of just saying, what do you think? What's going to happen, you guys, is they're going to say, I want this blue. I want the logo bigger. You know, I'm thinking we should do some metallics here. And, you know, it's going to be a really good idea if we just like add some more pages and, you know, put some links there, flash it up, you know, zing it around, and we're going to be super good here. Can we see that? Can we see that, Brad? Love to see it. Also, I got my wife on the phone, or my husband on the phone. My boss checked it out, and we have some feedback. Can we meet in person and talk about the colors? Can you guys still see and hear me? Because I want to make sure that we're getting this here. Cool. Does that make sense? You don't allow your client to just give feedback, unrestricted feedback that's misdirected. It needs to be directed and structured. So you give them a framework for giving feedback based on important elements that get you closer to your goal, not nitpicky design details. So I give my client one revision in terms of design. And after that, if they want more, it's going to cost them more. So I put that in the contract. And you can use Hello Bonsai to put that in your contract. So that's what I do in terms of revisions. Now, in terms of milestones, client-friendly milestones, what I do is I personally like to outline the project, find out exactly what it is that we need to achieve, and I break everything up into tiny, tiny, tiny chunks, and then I segment and organize them. So I like to go in milestones like discovery phase, creative phase, development phase, and launch phase. So there's 4 phases. Discovery includes research and development, communication, initial meetings, wireframing, sitemap, content audit, these sorts of things. Discovery, discovering the project. Creative is design, you know, graphic design, you know, creating mock-ups, maybe creating a static HTML site. Development phase is converting that into an actual website, whether it's WordPress or a static site or a different CMS. Plugins, installing and working all the technical aspects of the project, and then launch. And the launch phase is making that, getting the website live, archiving the old site, performing 301 redirects so that old pages can link to the new pages for SEO benefits, and making sure that the website works properly live, and then signing off on the project, getting that final budget and any last sort of minute revisions or changes, and then training. So, and this is in the course. All of this is outlined very clearly in the course as you get to that section, but I outline it into discovery, creative, development, and launch. And those are client-friendly milestones that they can understand, and give yourself sufficient time. Depending on the size of the project, it could be 1 week for each section. Very rarely that's the case, to 1 month for each section, and sometimes longer. The project I'm doing is about 6 months long, and the discovery phase has been at least a month, and we are just entering the creative phase, and it's going to take us another few weeks. Development phase will definitely be a couple months. So it's a lot of work depending on the size of the project. So those are the milestones, Travis. Hopefully it answers your question. Travis also says, what are common retainer options we can offer and how do we sell our clients on them? I like getting new clients, but it would be nice to have a good chunk of recurring revenue come in. Cool. What are common retainer options? Well, it depends on what you do and what it is that you offer, but basically think of a retainer as a complimentary service that's going to continue benefiting the client and get them consistently to their goals. So if you're designing let's say a WordPress website, you're creating a WordPress website, you did custom design and development for a WordPress website or even a WordPress theme, what is going to go wrong with that project if you do nothing? Think of it that way. When you're done the project, if you were to leave it, set it and forget it, what is going to go wrong? What's going to happen? What are the problems that will arise? Think about that. What's going to happen with a WordPress website? WordPress is going to go out of date. The plugins are going to go out of date. There's going to be hackers for sure. There's going to be security issues. There's going to be load time issues. There's going to be, well, a lot of it's around security. That's a huge part. Content goes out of date. When Google sees that your last updated post was in 2007, then you're going straight down to the bottom. That's not going to help your case. So think of all the things that will go wrong in terms of the project that you just created. And if you set it and forget it, what's going to go wrong? That's where you can fill in the gaps. So think of a lawn. Think of, we just bought a house. And so let's say we wanted to like redo our whole lawn. You can't just put the grass and just leave it. You need to mow it. You need to trim it. You need to reseed it. You need to aerate it. You need to power rake it. There's a lot of work and there's a lot of money that goes into lawn maintenance. So if somebody just said, yeah, I'll put your new lawn up, it's going to look great and your house is going to look super sexy for one season. And then after that's going to die and you're going to look like you're going to have a trashy looking yard really, really fast if I set it and forget it. So we need to power rake it. We need to aerate it. We need to do that every season. We need to reseed it. We need to patch up certain parts if a dog peed on the grass or something like that. That's where maintenance comes in. So if the lawn care provider says, you know what, for a few $100 a month, or, if we sign you into a contract, we'll come back weekly. We'll mow your lawn. We'll do this. We'll do that. Every season we'll power rake and aerate it. You don't need to think about it at all. And that's going to help benefit you. I see the benefit. I don't have to, watch my lawn slowly die. And I don't have to do all that work. I can just have somebody do it for me. That's a benefit for me. And so think about that. WordPress websites are the same. Design is the same. Design goes out of date. New trends pop up. Social media pops up. So one social media channel is really popular one year, and then it goes out, it dies a slow death, until the next year. And then now Snapchat's cool, and now Vine is cool, and then now that's not cool, and now YouTube is back, and now that's gone. And so it depends on what you're offering. Think about if you were to do your project, set it and forget it, and do nothing, what's going to go wrong? That's where your maintenance plans can come in. For me, I do a lot of WordPress websites, so I offer security. For security plans, I use Securi, so I'm going to type that out here. And I just pay for a plan, and I just have a marked up version where I monitor my clients' websites. I'll, if anything pops up, I'll manage it because they'll pay me, depends on the amount of effort they want from me, and they'll pay me, it'll pay for my Securi expense, and I'll get a profit on top of it. Plus I'll do, anything like updating content, making sure plugins and WordPress core is updated, if there's a new trend, if, we want to include a new social media profile, if we want to make sure we're up to date with the latest mobile optimization trends, then, we'll do things like that. So it really depends on what you're offering. So Travis, I know I'm kind of all over there, but hopefully that helps answer your question in terms of retainer options. We talk about it in the course too, and I'd encourage people providing their own kind of thoughts and feedback on what they might offer for a retainer. Maybe if you have ideas, feel free to share them in the comments. What would you do for a retainer option in your specific niche, in your specific freelance business? I'd love to hear it. Let's see. Ninja Boy 39 says, what is your process for requirements for gathering projects? Do you have a sit-down interview with the client? Send a list of questions that you have for clients? Definitely in the new Freelancer Toolkit if you're in the course. which everybody here should be in the course. I don't know if somebody snuck their way in here. I don't know how that would happen. But anyway, in the new Freelancer Toolkit, you get the 60-point checklist that has everything that I ask my clients before starting a project. I do have a sit down with my clients. It's in the discovery phase. Sometimes we'll do something from a quick phone, like a phone call, to an in-person meeting, to a road mapping session where we're actually like flesh out what we can, how I can help them in terms of doing a paid engagement. Just before we, like kind of a test project before we even get into the full one. We'll definitely do a sit down. We'll overview the entire project, what will make their project a success. And I keep asking why. Why do you want this? You know, why is it that you want to go this route? Why do you want a new website? I'll ask them these things so that we can find out the true core of why they need my help. And so I'll do that. I'll have my checklist, the 60-point checklist within the new Freelancer Toolkit. And make sure I have all of that before I even start a project. So that's kind of my quick and dirty answer to that question. And I see a lot of other questions here from about SEO, but it's actually a good question from Ruben here. I don't know if Ruben's still here. Ruben, you're intense, dude. I know it's pretty late for you. Ruben wants to know the top 3 biggest mistakes freelancers make. Sorry if you guys are hearing some knocking upstairs. My kids are just throwing stuff. They're just throwing stuff, and it's just hitting the roof above my studio. So, oh well. Top 3 biggest mistakes freelancers make. Terry says giving rough quotes is a big mistake. I did this and lost the job. You know what? Totally. I'm going to +1 that one too, Terry. The top 3 biggest mistakes freelancers make: under quoting your projects. And it's relative to where you are. You know, maybe underquoting for you is 500, maybe underquoting for you is 5,000, maybe underquoting for you is 10,000. So it really depends relative to where you are, but underquoting, that's like the top 1 and 2 problems. Because it's going to bite you so hard. You're going to get hurt so bad in so many ways. Number 1, you underquote, your client now thinks that you're the $500 dude or the $500 gal, and they can get all of that for $500. Bam, now Walmart bulk bin freelancer. You don't want to do that. And so now they're going to see you as kind of a budget freelancer, and they're going to have that, kind of anchor now. So now that when they come back to you, or they refer you to a friend, and they're like, I did this, and we got this done, and it was $500. It was crazy. Give Brad a call. He could probably do the same. And then when you say, yeah, totally, Terry, I could do your project, that's going to cost you $5,000. They'll be like, holy what? No way, not a chance. Because now that referral from that cheap client that you budgeted, that you underquoted, they're now going to refer their similar-minded colleagues. You know, they're not going to refer you to the person with the 6-figure business or the 7-figure business. They're going to refer you to their buddy who doesn't really want to pay for, quality work, so that's the bottom of the barrel client sort of thing. So you're attracting that level of client by underquoting yourself, and then you're pigeonholing yourself in a specific range. And then you have to do a lot of work for like pennies. If you quote a $500 project and it takes you 3 months, you could do the math on that. I'd rather pick up garbage part-time for the city, getting paid $8 an hour than do that. So don't underquote your projects. If anything, overquote your projects, anchor them high. I know somebody in the course shared an awesome article that they wrote on their blog about anchoring. Anchor high. If you think it's going to cost, if you think it's going to be $2,000, and you're willing to try and if you're willing to maybe lose the client in this case, and you might not want to do this all the time, but if you have a couple projects coming in and you don't necessarily need this next one, but it'd be nice to take it on, but it'd be a lot of work for you to take on another $2,000 project, anchor them high. Say it's gonna be $5,000 and you're gonna give them all these things. Productize it. We talked about this in one of the webinars. Give them a $2,000 option, a $5,000 option, and an $8,000 option with a $1,000 a month, retainer or something like that. And outline the benefits of doing so that you can anchor them high. So and then the worst they're going to do is say no, and the best they'll do is say yes. Anything in between, they might want to go for a lesser option. So keep that in mind. Let me see here. So Ruben, that's kind of my top 1 and 2. Number 3 is maybe, I don't know, it's relative to you, but time management. You know, wasting your time doing dumb shit that doesn't matter, that doesn't move the needle for you. So if you're just watching YouTube videos, stop and do something productive. Even if it's just writing something, even if you have an idea, go for a walk and listen to a podcast, listen to some smart passive income, listen to some Tim Ferriss, listen to some Zen music to clear your head, read a book, do something to move the needle. So don't waste your time. Courtney says, based off of the quoting topic, what do you think about putting prices on your website? Good question. Putting prices on your website. I don't do it. But not for the reasons that you might be thinking. You might be thinking, well, that means people are going to, your competitors are going to charge less prices. I have so many competitors that charge way, way less than me. Technically, all of you guys, can compete for my clients, and we all have varying rates. But that's not why I don't show my prices, because every project for me is different. I don't say my hourly rate because I don't have an hourly rate. If I say a task is going to be $1,000 and it takes me 4 minutes, then I just made that much money in 4 minutes. But I'm not going to say it's 10 hours at, $100 an hour or whatever. I don't do that. I charge based on the project, and it costs what it costs every single time. It doesn't change. If I say it's going to be $100, if I say it's going to be $1,000, it's going to be $100 or $1,000 unless you go outside of scope. So to get back to the question, I don't put my prices on my site because that's not the way I work. Now, if I productized, specifically, if I just had products, let's say, for example, I only did e-commerce WordPress websites for hunting stores, then I would say, this is the first package. It's $1,500. Here's the second package. It includes this, that, and the other thing. It's $4,000. And here's the third package. It's $800 a month, or $1,000 a month for 12 months. And it gets you these things. In that case, I'd publish my prices. Just the same as if you go to Code College, I'm publishing my prices. I know they're for courses, but they are products. I can have the same thing and have products for my clients. And so in that case, I would publish my prices. So hopefully that is a good answer for you, Courtney. Let me see here. Thomas has a really straightforward, simple question. How do I find clients when starting out? The Freelancing Freedom course. Module 1, Module 2, Module 3. You keep going sequentially. I'm revealing more and more of how you can do that. It's about building relationships. It's about being the person that people want to hire. It's about being, here's a good saying, people like people who are like them. So it's about playing the long game. It's about starting small and building that network, that circle of people around you. It's about working hard and taking those steps. So in the course, we outline that very, very clearly. And I don't want to kibosh all the work I've done over the last couple of years in this course and creating this material, because it's there and it's going to help you get that. You've seen it with the students in the course already, booking their clients. Marie, you've probably seen Marie post in the Facebook group the other day. She got 6 new clients or something like that. I didn't even get 6 new clients last month. So that's awesome. And it's starting small. And there's a wave effect. There's a snowball effect. When you get that first job, the second job's coming. The 4th job's coming. The 5th job, the 10th job, the 20th, it's coming. It's the first job that's the hardest to get. Start small, immediate connections. Go there, get a friend, get a colleague, get a classmate, get someone you're working with, get a local business owner who's your cousin, and work with them. Do it small, do it for free, do it for $500, do it for tradesies, do it once. And then the next time, go from there. Ask for a referral. Ask if they know somebody who's starting a business. Get them in contact with you. Ask for that referral. Start small, work hard. You're going to work so hard to get that first client, and it's actually going to be easier to get client number 2. My biggest client ever, the one I keep talking about this year, I barely had to do anything to close them. They were ready for me to work with them. I said, hey, Brad, I loved working with you, 2 years ago when I worked And we're back. What was that, like 4 times, 5 times we've cut out, guys? I know we're way over our time for our scheduled studio session, but can you guys see and hear me again here? I want to close this up, and I wanted to ask you guys, was that sufficient for you? Is that something, is this what you would expect from a studio session, save for the tech issues? This has never happened to me before, so I'll make sure next time to boot everybody off of my network so that we're not getting these stupid issues again. But that's a studio session. We talked about your questions. I answered them honestly, unversed, except for the SEO question. I wanted to give you something sufficient. Cool. Yeah, that's the studio session. You know, let's see, Gina, the short SEO talk was very helpful. I feel more confident about it. Awesome. Cool. This is what these are all about. We do these regularly. They're scheduled essentially once a month. I'll give you a heads up before, I look at my calendar a couple weeks beforehand to see, okay, I'm free to do it this time. And we do these once a month, typically in this fashion because it works well in terms of the questions and then the chat bar and everything like that. Sometimes I'll jump on Facebook Live instead. So it's always good to be Freelancing Freedom there. But that's what it's all about. The replay is going to be available. It's going to be at this exact same webpage. You can watch the replay. You can watch the answers to the questions by clicking watch answer or something like that. And I'll download the video file and put it in the Freelancing Freedom course so you can watch it along with all of the rest of them. Now the PDF, the SEO, Quick and Dirty SEO PDF, I'll add that to the course as well. And I'll even, maybe what I'll do here, just make it easy for you while I have you here, is I'm going to take that SEO checklist, the SEO Quick and Dirty SEO PDF. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to a Dropbox file here for you and give you the link directly. So bear with me for one quick second. Just going to push it over there. SEO, Quick and Dirty SEO. All right, copying that right now. Here's that PDF, you guys, right there. Go ahead and download that. Check it out. The resources are there. Make sure you check out those links and those resources and those articles and those applications. That's going to help you out when getting started with your SEO and helping your client understand what is involved with SEO. It's a ton of work involved with it. Everybody, thank you so much for bearing with me over the last 70 minutes with our plethora of tech issues. That was a little bit frustrating, but that's okay. You guys hung out. I'm glad that I was able to provide some value, answer some really cool questions. Keep going with the course. I know a number of you are on module 3 at this point, and that is awesome. So module 3 is all about, if I'm not mistaken here, pulling it up, your portfolio. So we talk about, everything about portfolio. Do you do custom? Do you do WordPress theme? How do you grow your portfolio? What do you include and exclude? Do you really need one? What do you do instead of that? And after the portfolio, we get deep into pricing, and then stuff's going to get hard in a great way. It's going to get challenging. We're going to start getting into clients and everything that is involved with that. So really hang on tight. Stay here, stay motivated, keep your eye on the prize, and I'm going to really challenge you over the next few weeks. This is where pressure makes diamonds. I love that saying because I'm going to put some pressure on you to challenge yourself. And that's where you're going to start to see some results as long as you put your mind to it and commit. So if the more you put in, the more you get out. So I've done my part. I'm confident that my part is top notch because I put a lot of time and effort into this and experience. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out. So the people you see on the Freelancing Freedom group saying, I booked a client, I did this, I booked $2,000, I booked $1,000, I have 6 clients, I have 2 clients, this, that, and the other thing, getting clients left, right, and center. If it seems like they're just like lucky, they're not lucky at all. They've done the work. I've watched them do the work. Many of you have seen them do the work. Some of you are even here who are doing that. Those are the people getting the clients, not because they're lucky, because they stick to it. They've done the work. They show up and they challenge themselves. They go outside of their comfort zone. They listen to the advice of what I have to say and what you guys have to say, and they're trying. So try, keep trying. Don't think, do. Show up. Do the work, you're going to get the results. I'm excited to see you guys along your journey And I have a number of calls with people, probably some of you are in the group, starting in the next 20 minutes. So I have a lot of talking to do for the rest of the afternoon. So thank you again for showing up. This video is going to be accessible and viewable for any of you who couldn't show up, and that's okay. Cindy, Ruben, Courtney, Javier, Cameron, Hafijur, Thomas, Akil. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for showing up. You guys are awesome. You're killing it. I'm excited to see your progress and your results over the next couple of weeks. I'm always here. I'm in the group. I'm doing these sessions. I'm doing the live streams. I'm accessible. This is where you can get at me. So here's to you. Happy Thursday. And I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome weekend. Bye, everybody.